Okay, sige. Alam natin ano 'no, marami pang unknowns dito sa ano, sa kaso ni Zaldico, dun sa kanyang pagpapauwi. Okay, pero nga 'no, kasi ang unang binanggit last week 'no ni, Interior Secretary John Vic Remulla, ang tantiya niya nasa 1 to 3 weeks daw. Eh, baka, yun yung panahon para mapauwi itong si Zaldico. A lot of people were thinking, kaya ba talaga siya mapauwi ng gano'ng kabilis? Talk to us about the scenarios and the complications involving them.
Hmm. Good question actually. Ang problema kasi sa discussion about this, hindi nilalatag yung fundamental assumptions dito. So what we know so far is that, well, Zaldico is, pinaka-safe na assumption dito is he's a Philippine citizen or Filipino citizen. So he possesses a Philippine passport. Pero of course, you and I have talked about na, yun nga, lumabas yung balita. I think one of the Remulla brothers mentioned that Mr. Ko is a Portuguese passport holder, which means that he is a Portuguese citizen, therefore a citizen of the European Union. So, pwede natin i-work out yung scenarios from two particular perspectives. The first one is if he holds a Philippine passport, or the second, if he holds a Portuguese passport. And in very simple terms, if he still holds a Philippine passport, Christian, the fastest
Hmm,
way that the Czech government can do is to, number one, possibly surrender Mr. Ko through the existing red notice. As I understand, and correct me if I'm wrong here, meron ng existing red notice against Mr. Ko because of an ongoing criminal case in the Philippines. So,
mm.
Czechia, being a full member of Interpol, can simply surrender Mr. Ko to the Philippine government. Or the other way is even if there's no case, government to government relations,
Mm,
if again, Philippine passport holder, Mr. Ko could be deported by Czechia diretso papuntang Pilipinas. The
mm,
second scenario, and very briefly din lang, and again, napag-usapan na natin to in a previous conversation, but in a nutshell, if he is a Portuguese citizen holding a Portuguese passport within the European Union, he has certain protections because he is also a citizen of the European Union.
mm,
The first thing is, I think, lumabas nga sa balita, dalawang bagay. Una sa lahat, meron ngang balita na i-invoke ng Philippine government itong United Nations Convention Against Corruption na napag-usapan na rin natin na meron
mm,
ngang in it built-in na extradition mechanisms. However, napag-usapan nga ninyo nung pumutok itong balita na ito kasama niya si Attorney Gutierrez and Secretary Llamas na meron ngang doktrina under European case law, yung tinatawag ng Petrin Doctrine, na
mm,
sinasabi na kapag ka isa kang citizen ng another European Union citizen, in this case Portugal, and you are found in a European Union country, in this case Czechia, and merong isang third-party country na nagre-request ng extradition. So, in other words, kahit na walang extradition treaty per se between Philippines and Czechia, meron tayong extradition mechanisms through UNCAP. If that
mm,
happens, he is afforded certain protections under the particular doctrine developed through the European Court of Justice. So, ibig
mm,
sabihin, Mr. Ko has mechanisms to slow this down. First of all, magkakaroon ba ng, ng relative, ang tawag dito, merong options ng Portuguese government to request that he be extradited or returned instant to his country of citizenship within the European Union, which in this
mm.
case would be Portugal. Pero last point, Christian, I promise, before maging
Mm.
monologue ito,
Yeah, go
is
ahead,
that,
sige.
yeah, the last point lang talaga. The point is that napag-usapan na rin natin that under UNCAP, and matagal na natin tong inilatag, and sana narinig nga ng mga taga-DOJ and Department of Foreign Affairs, na Portugal has successfully has mechanisms to actually, if hindi man nila isurrender, kahit nasabihin natin, a worst case scenario, hindi ma-extradite si Mr. Ko to the Philippines from Portugal, kasi babalik yan ng Cheshire to Portugal. Kung hindi siya may extradite to the Philippines, pwede pa rin siyang i-prosecute in, by the Portuguese government in Portugal. So in
Mm,
other words, yung kaso niya sa Pilipinas, pwedeng habulin ng Portuguese government as a commitment to the UNCAC. In a way, because Czechia is also a part of UNCAC, pwede rin nilang gawin yun kung hindi siya maibalik ng Portugal. Kasi there could be a scenario that Portugal does not do anything. Although, as a sidebar discussion, Mr. Ko and his team, to further delay things, pwede niyang pwede siyang mag-file ng application sa korte sa Portugal for a petition for mandamus or mandamus as we say in the Philippines. Para nga
Mm.
ipuwersa ang Portuguese government na protektahan siya under the Petruan Doctrine.
Okay. Sige. So definitely dito sa mga scenarios na nilatag mo, Lou, mas komplikado yan kung talagang Portuguese passport holder si Zaldico. Tama?
Absolutely.
Mas madali kung Philippine passport holder siya at kinansela na ngayon kanyang passport. Marami mga mekanismong pwedeng gamitin. Sa pagkakataong yun, mas mapapadali yung pagbalik sa kanya. Okay,
Correct.
puntahan natin itong yung second scenario na meron siyang Portuguese passport. Uubra din ba kunwari mismong, kunwari walang tratado between the Philippines and Portugal, pero yung Portugal mismo, siya na nag-decide yung government using its relations with the Philippine government. Teka, malaki yung binibintang dito, no? Pwede ba siya voluntaryo magsuko dito kay Zaldico sa Philippine government?
They could attempt to do that, pero Mr. Ko has a lot of legal remedies in Portuguese courts, in the Portuguese tribunal system. Dahil una
Mm.
sa lahat, meron siyang constitutional protections against extraditions. Uh, we've discussed this in the past that they have mechanisms under that. Unless may tratado nga between the Philippines and Portugal. Which in this case, under UNCAC, meron tayong extradition provision. So po pwede. So in
Mm.
other words, a surrender or well, first of all, he cannot be deported if he has a Portuguese citizenship nga, di ba? Dahil he's a citizen,
Mm.
he has a right of abode. Kung isusurrender man siya, ito magiging legally problematic for the Portuguese and Philippine government because Mr. Ko would have legal remedies that would be available to him not only in, well, first of all, in Portuguese courts, but also under the European Court of Justice.
Oo.
Diba? So, pwede niyang i-block ito. Pwede siya makakuha ng restraining order because the Portuguese government cannot just do that kung surrender lang. So, in other words, kailangan talaga full extradition. I-exercise yung buong provision ng UNCAC. Full-throated dapat itong pag-enforce ng provisions.
At kung gano'n, it would take time kasi mahabang proseso yan. Maraming mga mekanismong pwedeng gamitin nitong si Zaldico to prevent that from happening. Yung pagbalik sa kanya, hindi ba?
It would appear so. And the Portuguese court system, unfortunately, does not have the reputation of being the most efficient.
Okay. Doon sa mga nagtatanong, no? Kasi nga again, medyo tipid yung mga detalyeng meron tayo dito. No? Teka, yun man, i-address natin yung fundamental issue na yan. No? Ano ba yung, gano'n ba kahigpit talaga when it comes to data privacy? Itong EU. That's why we're not getting all this information as we would have wanted to.
Thankfully, I did take privacy law a long time ago, especially under European convention. So, sa rules in Europe, really, it's basically going to go down to GDPR. And a lot of the emphasis on GDPR is related to consent. From a perspective of privacy, it is a personal right to retain. So kung may accusations and whatnot, itong mga information na ito, pwede lang itong i-disclose kung yung person na ito ay magko-consent sa pag-disclose ng information. And usually the government cannot comment on things. Most Western governments have similar provisions as European GDPR. It's basically the gold standard when it comes to privacy law. So I was not surprised when naghahanap nga ng detalye dito and it was scant. It would really be up to the Portuguese, or sorry, the Czech government at this point, except that the Czech government follows GDPR EU regs when it comes to privacy, meaning consent focused siya. Obviously, Mr. Ko is not, will like unlikely consent to the release of details. Czech Republic obviously follows the GDPR rules, as I said. It really boils down dun sa consent ng individual concerned until such a time that the case becomes a matter of public interest. Obviously, right now, it is a matter of public interest. Pero titignan mo siya from the perspective of kung nailatag na halimbawa yung kaso sa korte. So, for example, meron ng movement sa courts ng Czechia, ng Czech Republic. Halimbawa, nag-file na ng petition of any sort. Lahat ng detalye na pinafile sa court, because most courts in Western democracies, even in the Philippines, follows the principle of open courts. Diba? Dapat publiko ito, mga filings, etc. Unless there is some sort of order from the judge, the sitting judge, na itago itong mga detalye na to, usually for like privacy concerns ng mga bata, ng mga vulnerable individuals, or proprietary patents, for example, ng isang company. So in this case, because of it is of great public interest, I very much doubt that the court will grant privacy kapag naging public record na ito sa isang tribunal sa Czechia. Ilagay natin
Okay.
siya, logical extension, say for example, in the scenario that he's sent to Portugal, because ito nga yung susunod na step logical dun sa Petruian Doctrine nga, dun din, magiging public din naman ang record na ito dahil pupunta ito sa korte. I'm pretty sure
Mm.
that they're going to attempt to anonymize the case, but I suspect that given the gravitas of this case in the public interest, malabo na bigyan ito ng judge ng privacy protections at court. Public record pa rin to. So right now,
Okay.
because wala pa tayong fina-file or wala pang naifa-file, hindi pa siya dumadaan sa open court system, hindi talaga natin to basta-bastang mailalabas or makukuha unless si Mr. Ko mismo ang mag-consent to release this information.
Dito sa level nung ano ng Czech authorities dahil nga dun sa mga detalyeng lumabas galing mismo sa Pangulo ng Pilipinas kay President Marcos na dinetain siya dahil nagtangka siya nga tumawid papunta sa Germany. So given at this stage hindi pa talaga pwede maglabas ng public information itong Czech Republic. Tama yan? Unless may consent ni Zaldico.
Correct. His
Okay.
personal information remains his personal information unless it goes through an open system like the court, for example.
Okay. But magpapadala ng high-level delegation ng Philippine government dyan sa Czech Republic led by the Department of Justice Secretary. Siyempre, pag ang kausap mo government, are they bound to actually give those information that the Philippine government wants?
It's not a question of being bound, so it's a question of diplomacy at this point. So thankfully, itong si Mr. Ko, unlike ang friend natin si Mr. Roque in Austria, there is no pending asylum case, meaning walang danger for the Czechia government to actually talk to the Philippine government. Because in Mr. Roque's case, for example, medyo problematic kapag kinakausap ng Austria ang Philippine government at this stage ngayon na nakalatag ang kanyang asylum claim at ito'y dinidinig. Pero in Mr. Ko's case, assuming he's a European citizen, he has his rights to privacy, he has his rights to the due process in Europe, pero at the same time, his information is also protected. Pero from a government-to-government basis, there are most likely exemptions to this. Usually, yung mga privacy laws kasi merong mga provisions that actually overrides consent rules.